This all started for a good reason. We were trying to build an atomic bomb before the Nazis did.
March 1938. Hitler invades Austria. The Third Reich begins to flex its military muscle. Later that year, German scientists discover fission of the uranium nucleus, bringing the Third Reich one step closer to discovering the secret of the atomic bomb. Fear of German research stimulated activity in the United States and England. Fear that German scientists could produce weapons of great devastation. In the fall of 1939, Dr. Albert Einstein wrote his now famous letter to President Roosevelt, explaining the urgency of work on uranium fission. Roosevelt, a man of action, moved swiftly. An advisory committee on uranium was appointed. German forces invade Poland, plunging the nations of Europe into a Second World War. A new branch of the Army's Corps of Engineers was established to administer work on military uses of uranium. Major General Leslie R. Groves, the man responsible for the Pentagon, was placed in charge of the project. On December 2nd, the first self-sustaining chain-reacting pile was successfully operated by Enrico Fermi. Fermi's success brought intense efforts between government and the private sector, creating huge industries for uranium separation in the town of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and for the production of plutonium in Hanford, Washington, at the shores of the mighty Columbia River. This tremendous effort forged the materials necessary for creating an atomic bomb.
Your slim frame, your eager eyes, and your wild.
You've probably seen this before. This image is iconic. What you're looking at is the Trinity test, the first nuclear device ever detonated, and it was detonated right here, in the US of A. But it's been almost 70 years since that test, and almost 20 years since the end of the Cold War. That was then. But what about now? Well, let's say that you're at a party, today, in 2008. Let's say it's full of kids from like 17 to 20. There's dancing, there's a slip and slide, someone's pitching a tent for no obvious reason, whatever. So everyone's standing around the water cooler, playing that game with the ping pong balls and the red cups, and suddenly, the guy next to you says,
Bros, can we pause the frivolity for a second to discuss the topic of nuclear non-proliferation?
Then you wake up. Because nobody's having that conversation in 2008. Long gone are the days when kids would do drills in school in the event of a nuclear attack by ducking under a desk. Of course, now we know that if a WMD detonates in your backyard, ducking under your desk probably won't help. Still, somehow it seems like the climate of fear is gone. The only time you see nukes exploding on TV shows like Jericho in 24. Jack Bauer looking good. But the nuclear situation around the world is bad and getting worse. And someone needs to talk about it, so I say, why not us? In this film, we'll address 4 questions. Number 1, what's the problem with today's system for keeping nuclear weapons under control? 2, what are the major nuclear threats? 3, how do we as an international community deal with these problems? And 4, finally, everyone's favorite, what can you do to help? I'm Ben Millstein, you're whoever you are, and we're going to answer all these questions right now.
They read the good book from Friday till Monday.
In order to help bring this issue down to size, I made some new friends. Let's meet them, shall we?